That means no place. That's not even a place, okay? So,
Not on the stairs,
so then,
anyway. Not on the stairs.
yeah, exactly. So then at the end, there was one kind professor who had participated in constructing a cafeteria that was not used, and that was actually our venue. So why do I say kind professor? Because my department head was sure that she would not ask for the credit. She wouldn't say, she's not that type of person. So that's why she said, okay, then we will use her old cafeteria, and that's what we did. We just got drapes and stuff to shut the lights because it was in an open air area. So that was, so these two problems are very related. But anyways, after we did that and we found that the place was actually very suitable, much to our expectations, so it was decided that this can be used for that in the future. So since it's not being used as a cafeteria at all, I don't know why, but that's how it is. Do you want to say how you got the venue? How you got here?
Well, each one of us were discussing this from a different point of view and different universities, because we had the problems with the funding, like if we can have more fund, can we approach more people, can we have our projects, all of our projects with all the titles sustainable, really sustainable. So can we provide that, can we have this as a certified thing that we can say to the authority that doesn't want to accept that or want to take the credit, we're going to involve you with us, we're going to have the credit, you're going to have the credit if we can distribute it to more people or disseminate it to more people. And the people that we are working with actually are our students, our seniors, our juniors. Us, we're learning from them the same way they are learning from us. So with the fund thing, I think for all the universities and institutions, it's really more critical to have something like that. It's not a piece of cake that we're eating from. It's something that we can benefit everybody from it.
Okay, so about the fund. Average. You're saying that the single dollar is now 11 Egyptian pounds, so
12 and a half.
This is no problem. I'm a rich person, so the fund is I'm joking. It's okay for me. Just next time, if you wish, just to increase the grant a little bit so we can cover the differences.
Deficits they have.
Yeah, the deficit. Okay. Participant negativity.
Yeah, the next point was participants' negativity, how this was actually Dalia's point, how some participants were very negative in the workshop.
In some groups, we had some participants that were very negative, and what are you doing, why are you doing this, and usually there was no result from what are you doing, so actually we had to stop them. No, don't speak in general, just speak for yourself. Misconduct is done by us. Publication, plagiarism, and every misconduct is done by ourselves, not by the society. So start by yourself and not make it a general state. We had to stop them, and then everything will be smooth. I would like to...
The age barrier point is, well, maybe this is not the correct term, but we couldn't come up with a term. We're referring to the fact that higher ranks, for example, professors or assistant professors, they weren't always up for the idea of us telling them that no, this is not the authorship criteria, for example. Just because you're a supervisor doesn't mean that you should be an author. So this, of course, we just had the one professor that I mentioned in my workshop, for example, and this topic was tackled where one of the participants argued when he found out that the answer was that the thesis advisor doesn't get to be an author, since he did not fulfill the criteria. So he kept on going back and forth, and she was there. So it was very awkward because, of course, it happens in her department that they do get to be authors. So then what happened is at the end we just had to stop the conversation because it was going to get ugly in terms of they don't really accept that. So she just said the names on the thesis proposal, then automatically regardless of this authorship criteria. It was kind of a compulsory thing. It can't be done otherwise. So this was a problem, is that you can't really get into a discussion with closed-minded individuals. Yeah, so that's it. And ما هو ده العجوز. This is they meant for this to be Einstein, but that's just sad. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we spoke about most of the challenges that we're facing and how to overcome it.
What I wanted to do was to very quickly summarize what I heard in terms of some generalities. And the question is, at the beginning of this project, all of you were trying to get something done. And I really want to congratulate all of you on what you were able to get done with the amount of money you had. You performed miracles. Okay. What's our next step? The next step is that to start thinking in terms of where do you want to go from here? And that is one of the most critical things that needs to be done. Where do you want to go? Followed by, how will you know when you get there? And then once you decide where you want to go and how you will know when you get there, we then fill in the necessary things in between those two places. Like, what vehicle are we going to take to get there? Who are the advocates that we need to cultivate to run the necessary interference such that those things that you don't have the power to do, they have the power to do. And every successful project has an advocate. Sustainability comes about because you build enough advocates along the way who share your dream and your passion in such a way that they're willing to help you pay for it. And my experience has been that there are certain key people out there with the resources that will give you less money than you need, but because of their reputation for always being aligned with successful projects, other people will join you because they like having their names associated with successful projects. So take advantage of that. I have also found that an excellent strategy is if I first can't get you to agree that you would help me, I then start working on a promise not to oppose me. And sometimes the agreement to simply not oppose you is as valuable as the one as not to support you. So that's where we are now. And as we sit and start thinking about where we go from here, and you can think about all those things as well as I can in terms of what you want to do. But for each of those things that I heard, I would jot down stuff. And I heard, who's the advocate? Because each of you in your own way found an advocate to open some doors that you couldn't open. Providing a place, giving you this, giving you that. And then there's serendipity. Finding an open cafeteria, an open space for a project of this kind is a gold mine. Because you can put the tables where you darn well want them, not where they are. And you can design the space to fit what it is you're trying to do instead of trying to work around the space that you've got. So, where are you, Ola? that was a, you didn't know what you had been given when they gave it to you. But I said, God, that's great. Okay. So, and also important, to put together a strong team, all of who's on the same page, and who's willing to help carry the weight, and where if you agree to not care about who gets the credit, it's amazing how far you can go. Okay, those are some general comments. But I really want to congratulate you on what you've done, and we look forward to tomorrow. We're going to come back and fill in some blanks. Thank you very much.
Any more comments? Anyone would like to have a comment or discuss something?
Just want to add
Yes,
something.
Zine.
They say Carla Sola, she found a place in her school, even it was a cafeteria. I didn't find this, and I go to school pharmacy.
Yes. Well, I'll make Raula more lucky, because if you would like to do this kind of future workshops or institutes, I can have them in the library. But we need some kind of like 6 months advance.
And the paper stamp was keeping this stamp.
But just an advance.
Yes.
How much credit are you looking for?
MasterCard. So any more comments, any suggestions for these challenges? I think these challenges we discussed when I was talking about having a key contact, so-called person in a senior level. Sometimes you have to engage them in order to solve it. Having a research culture, having support, this crystal that we talked about, because this will be pushing us forward and not to stop and not to give up. And persistence. Persistence is a key item. Yes.
Can I just ask, is it a general problem for groups here that if you want to do some of these things, that if you're simply using a building, that someone would want the credit for facilitating or supporting something like that?
Not always, but sometimes, yes. Let's be honest with that. Yeah, to have the credit, because everyone in his position now, he wants to show that he did something in order to keep the position and to be upgraded in his position. So sometimes you have to give him some credit in order to continue what you are doing.
I think it's kind of a sponsorship.
Yes.
Like you go to any company and then they give you some money to sponsor a conference or something. Kind of recognition.
It's a kind of recognition.
I mean, that's not, most people wouldn't bother about it too much. When I say bother about it, I mean acknowledging, if you like, that somebody lent you the lecture theatre or something like that.
No, but
I mean, that doesn't mean they're taking the credit for running the course.
No, absolutely
No.
not. Yeah.
Mahmoud, you were saying something.
No, just you have to sign a paper from the director, from the dean, from the president, but not pay money for the university.
Yeah.
Because all facility in the university are available for that.
No, but not all facilities are available.
For my university, all.
Your university, no. For us, no.
We have special units.
No. I'm not speaking about special unit. But
Well,
another.
Well, it depends on what you need to
Depends
run
on
a
the
workshop,
president
right?
and his mentality.
Yes, exactly. But if you need just a classroom, then maybe it's easier to find than a special place like this, where you can move the tables, where you have computers, I don't know, whatever it is that you need.
Yes.
In my university, just sign a paper from the president.
Well, you're lucky. You said it's Upper Egypt, it's different, right?
So that they try to come. And the rest I will see when they come.
I mean, in my university, for example, you would have to pay a facility charge if
Yes.
you wanted to use any lecture theatre or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Because it's sort of all the space is allocated centrally, and you buy it, essentially.
But the truth of the matter is, every place is going to be different, but there's going to be something.
Yes, there will be
And what
something.
you've got to do is to find out what that something is. And then there are those who will invent things because they really don't want it to happen. So you got to find that out too. And so it takes some real legwork to find out where all the alligators, all the obstacles lie, and then figure out how to work around it. And you don't always have to go through things. Sometimes working around is the best way to go.
But I mean, I was just going to say for everybody here, they have a product now. You know, they have done something and demonstrated that it works. I mean, what we've seen today clearly shows that you've got something that others would be interested in. So you've got something to offer. And I think, you know, you're going to find takers, but obviously, you know, you've got to knock on those doors, really, to find out.
You have to search for them.
Yes, exactly.
They're not going to come to you, necessarily.
No, you have to search. You have to work somewhat, work hard in order to keep it up.
Some may come to you, and those are they're the lucky ones, and you know, and it's great. But for a lot of promoting something like this, there's a lot of legwork involved, as Jim was saying.
Exactly.
You've got to learn how to tell your story.
Yes, true.
Yes.
How to promote yourself.
How to promote it.
Yes, true.
Yes. How I put my hand in my pocket and give you money or give you something.
Yes.
I put it.
It has money in your pocket.
You mean you missed it? You tried?
And I would like to thank you so much. It was really enjoyable. Looking forward for tomorrow.